Have you ever found yourself, in an English conversation and the words are right there, but you just feel slow? Like there's this little translator working overtime in your head, kind of holding you back from really speaking smoothly naturally.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is, well, it's incredibly common. It's often just how our brains are wired initially when tackling a new language.
Right. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like, is there some way to bypass that whole mental translation thing and actually start thinking in English?
There really is. And the good news is it involves practical things you can actually do to help your brain make that shift.
Okay, great. Because that core issue, the mental translation, that's exactly what we want to dig into today. This deep dive is all about exploring two really powerful connected techniques that we've seen pop up in expert advice and guides,
Yeah.
shadowing, and then actively building the habit of thinking in English.
Mm.
So our mission, really, is to unpack how they work, why they're supposed to be so effective, and crucially, give you some steps you can take, like right away, to build confidence and sound more natural.
Yeah, it's about getting beyond just words, isn't it? It's moving towards like an intuitive feel for the language.
Exactly. Okay, let's start with the first one. Shadowing. What exactly is shadowing?
Right. So shadowing in simple terms is like echoing or imitating a native speaker. You listen to them, and then just a split second later, you say what they said. It's this immediate repetition, almost like you're there, their vocal shadow.
Ah, okay. So not listen, pause, repeat later, but like right behind them.
Exactly. Instant.
But how does that immediate echo do more than just, mimicry? What's the deeper thing happening there?
Well, that's where the magic sort of happens. Shadowing helps build these direct neural pathways. It actually encourages your brain to skip the translation step. You're linking the sound, the rhythm, the meaning directly. It's almost like muscle memory, but for language in your brain.
Muscle memory for language. I like that.
Yeah. You start to get English on a more intuitive level. You feel the rhythm, the sounds, a bit like humming along to a song right? You feel the melody even if you don't know all the words.
Okay, that makes sense. It's tapping into something beyond just the dictionary definition.
Precisely. It trains your ear to pick up on things you might miss if you're just focused on, like grammar rules or vocabulary lists, things like the melody of speech, the intonation, the rhythm, which are all super important for sounding confident, for conveying feeling.
Right, the stuff that makes speech sound human and not robotic.
Exactly. We pick up on that subconsciously all the time. Shadowing helps you consciously notice and then reproduce it.
And there's a practical side too, isn't there? I remember reading it's quite efficient.
Oh, hugely efficient. Because you could often do it on the go.
Yeah.
You could be driving, washing dishes, walking the dog. It turns that kind of dead time into, really valuable practice time.
Okay, so integrating it into daily life. Now, the sources mention a couple of different ways to actually do the shadowing. Can you break those down?
Sure. There are basically two main flavors. First is what you might call on the go or continuous shadowing. That's where you play the audio and you just echo immediately without stopping the audio. You're just constantly repeating a fraction of a second behind.
Okay, so that sounds like the one for driving or washing dishes.
Exactly. It's great for building that flow, getting the overall rhythm, fitting it into a busy schedule.
And the second type?
The second is more focused shadowing. This involves pausing. So you play maybe a short phrase or sentence, you hit pause, and then you repeat it. Often you'd use a script with this method.
Ah, okay. That sounds more like dedicated study time.
It is. The benefit there is you can really concentrate. You can listen much more closely, focus on specific sounds or intonation patterns because you have that pause.
So focused is for detail, on the go is for flow and convenience.
Pretty much. Focused lets you do deeper analysis, target specific things you want to improve. Continuous helps build that overall fluency and integrates easily. Different tools for different moments, really.
Got it. Now, with any technique, there are usually common mistakes people make. What's the biggest pitfall with shadowing?
Oh, the biggest one, definitely, is doing it on autopilot. Just kind of mindlessly repeating the sounds without any real focus or intention. When you do that, your brain tends to filter out the important stuff, the subtle intonation, the way sounds link together.
Right, just parroting without actually learning.
Exactly. It's not just a copy-paste job. You need to tell your brain what to listen for.
So the solution is intention, setting a specific goal for the session.
That's the gold right there. You need a clear intention. Maybe today you're focusing only on the difference between, say, the E sound in sheep and the I sound in ship. Or maybe you're listening for how the speaker's voice goes up at the end of a question.
Or where they put the stress in a sentence.
Or stressed words, yes. Or how words connect together, linked sounds. When you focus intentionally, you actually notice these things. And when you notice them, you're much more likely to reproduce them correctly. That's how you actually start to like rewire your pronunciation habit to boost your clarity, your confidence. It's active learning.
That makes so much sense. Turn passive repeating into active listening and producing. So once you've got that intention set, are there other ways to optimize the practice, make it even more effective?
Yeah, a few things. First, pick a speaker whose voice you actually enjoy listening to.
Huh, that sounds simple but important.
It really is. If you choose a voice you find annoying, you might subconsciously resist imitating it. Find someone whose way of speaking you genuinely like, maybe even admire. Makes practice much nicer.
Good tip. What else?
Second, don't be afraid to slow the audio down, especially at first. Most podcast apps, YouTube, they let you play at 75% speed, maybe even 50%. That gives your brain more time to process the details without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Ah, using the tech to help. Makes sense. And you mentioned using a script for the focused method.
Yes, using a script can be super helpful for that focus practice. You can physically mark it up, highlight tricky words, draw lines to mark pauses or thought groups, maybe underline sounds you're working on.
Just probably not while you're driving, right?
Haha, yes, definitely not while driving. Eyes on the road, please. Script is for when you're stationary and focused.
Okay. And what about recording yourself? Does that actually help? Seems a bit awkward.
It can feel awkward at first, definitely, but it is an absolute game changer. Seriously, record yourself shadowing, then listen back. You will hear things, discrepancies between your version and the original that you completely miss while you're actually speaking.
Really, it's that different hearing yourself recorded.
Massively different. That external perspective is incredibly powerful for self-correction. It actually means you can improve faster with less overall practice time because the feedback loop is so much tighter. You become your own coach.
Wow, okay. That's a strong endorsement for hitting record.
It really works. And it ties into the final point, really, which is quality over quantity.
Meaning?
Meaning it's much, much better to take one short phrase, maybe just 5 or 10 seconds of audio, and repeat it 10 times with real focus and intention than it is to mindlessly shadow a whole 5-minute clip once on autopilot. That deep focus repetition is what really builds those new pathways in your brain. Think of it like forging a new, faster road for English.
Quality-focused reps. Got it. Okay, that's a fantastic breakdown of shadowing. Now let's pivot to that second related idea, actively cultivating thinking in English. This feels like the holy grail for a lot of learners, but also maybe the hardest. What's the core problem we're aiming at here?
Yeah, it's a big one. The core problem is definitely that mental translation habit. When you're thinking in your native language and then trying to translate sentence by sentence into English, it just slows everything down massively. It makes your speech sound halting, unnatural, and honestly, it often leads to grammar mistakes too because word order might be different, right?
Right. You end up speaking English with the grammar structure of your first language.
Exactly. So the goal is to cut out the middleman, to get your brain operating directly in English faster, more naturally.
I like the analogy you used earlier about the bridge.
Ah, yes, the bridge. It's a good way to think about it. Your first language is like a helpful bridge when you first start learning. It connects concepts. But the long-term goal is to, well, to dismantle the bridge. So when you see a chair, you just think chair.
Yeah.
Directly in English.
Not Scylla, then translate to chair.
Precisely.
Yeah.
No intermediate step. That translation delay is often why people freeze up when they need to speak. Their brain is busy translating before they can get the words out.
Okay, so how do we start taking down that bridge? What are some actual practical things people can do to start thinking more in English, maybe even in small ways?
All right, let's get practical. First, simple thing. Try to describe what you see around you, but internally in English. So as you're walking down the street, just think, I'm walking to the shop. I see a red car. Or maybe you're making coffee. I'm pouring the water. This coffee smells good.
Silently in your head.
Silently, yeah. Just narrate your environment. If you don't know a word, no big deal. Just make a mental note, maybe look it up later. The point is to get your brain using English for observation, step by step.
Okay, internal narration, like being your own commentator. What's number 2?
Number 2, think about your plans in English. So in the morning, maybe while you're brushing your teeth, just quickly outline your day. Today I will go to work. I have a meeting at 10. Or in the evening, review what happened. I went to the supermarket. I watched a film.
Again, low pressure, just internal thoughts.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be complex sentences, just activating that part of your brain.
Okay. And the third one sounds key for breaking that direct translation habit.
Yes. Number 3 is visual thinking. Try to directly link the English word to the object or concept without your native language stepping in. See your phone, think phone. See a tree, think tree. See your keys, think keys. Just the English word popping into your head immediately upon seeing the thing.
Cutting out the middleman completely.
That's the goal, making that English word the automatic first thought.
And number 4, this brings us back to shadowing, interestingly.
It does. Shadowing itself is actually a tool for thinking in English, because when you're copying a native speaker's speed, rhythm, pronunciation, you're training your brain to process and produce English much faster.
Yeah.
You bypass translation because you're learning the flow directly.
So by practicing speaking quickly and naturally through shadowing, you're teaching your brain it doesn't need to translate first.
Exactly. You're ingraining the patterns of spoken English directly. It reinforces the idea of thinking and speaking simultaneously.
Clever. Okay, and the 5th practical way.
5th is similar to the first, but maybe even simpler. Use English for simple actions. Narrate basic, everyday stuff in your mind. The sun is shining. I'm washing the rice. I need to fold the clothes. Keep it really simple, almost like how a child learns to associate words with actions, making English part of the mundane.
Okay, that's 5 tips sound very doable. So if someone wants to put this into a kind of daily routine, what would that look like? Maybe like 4 easy steps.
Yeah, we can make it really manageable. 4 steps for a daily habit. 1, morning reflection. Just 1 minute when you wake up. Simple thoughts about the day ahead in English. Today I will. I need to remember. While making coffee, maybe?
Just a minute. Okay.
2, daytime observation. Throughout your day, just occasionally mentally describe something you see in English. That's a big dog. I'm waiting for the bus. She is typing an email. Little internal snapshots.
Got it. Quick check-ins.
3, daily shadowing. Seriously, just 5 minutes. Find 5 minutes somewhere. It could be during your commute, while cooking, listen to some English, and echo it immediately. That continuous shadowing practice.
5 minutes of focused echoing.
Yep. And 4, night review. Before you sleep, just take another minute or 2. Mentally review your day. Again, in simple English. I went. I saw. I felt. It's a nice, quiet, low-pressure way to wrap up the day in English.
1 minute morning, observations during the day, 5 minute shadowing, 1 minute night review. That sounds incredibly achievable.
It is. That's the beauty of it. It's not about hours of study. It's about these small, consistent integrations into your existing routine. That's what starts to rewire the brain.
Then what happens over time? Does it just click one day?
It's usually more gradual. You might start and feel like only, say, 10% of your thoughts are managing to be in English. That's fine. But if you keep up that daily practice, slowly, maybe without even noticing it first, it'll creep up to 30%, then 50%, maybe 70%. And then, yeah, you'll start having these aha moments where you realize you just had a whole thought process or even dreamt in English without trying. It starts to become automatic, effortless.
That sounds amazing, that effortless feeling, but it requires patience, right? And being okay with it feeling clunky at first.
Oh, absolutely. Patience is key.
Yeah.
And self-kindness. You will make mistakes.
Yeah.
Your brain will revert to translation sometimes. That's totally normal. The key is consistency, not perfection. Keep showing up for those few minutes each day. Embrace the process, and honestly, the transformation will happen.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Thinking about everything we've discussed, what's the big takeaway for you, the listener? We've dug into these 2 really powerful, connected ideas, shadowing and consciously trying to think in English. These aren't just theories, are they? They're actual practical skills.
Definitely practical. They're game changers, really. They offer a path away from that frustrating translation bottleneck towards a more intuitive, fluid way of using English.
From slow and deliberate to natural and flowing.
Exactly. And the key thing to remember is that consistent, focused practice, even if it's just 5 or 10 quality minutes a day, makes a huge difference over time. It really is quality over quantity here.
So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. Just imagine that feeling. Imagine effortlessly jumping into conversations, feeling natural, feeling confident, because you've gradually, step by step, rewired your brain to actually operate directly in English. That feeling of truly fluent, untranslated communication. It's not some impossible dream.
It's absolutely within reach. It just takes that consistent, intentional practice.